Hello and welcome back to Strongwoman High's Life is a Mishmash. Today we have a very special guest, my actual twin. It's Panda Holladay. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being on the pod, Panda. This is a rare treat. We are nemesis when we're at competition, but sort of friends in real life, aren't we?
Yeah, so for my sins, I'm making my podcast debut here. I'd say we're friends. Very, very competitive when it gets there, but it makes for a good show. Good time.
100%, yeah. And unfortunately, we are sort of slowly turning into each other, not by actually trying, but we do look very similar today. All I need is some glasses, some cooler headphones, and an actual fancy shirt, and I would basically be you at this point. So.
Yeah. I'm looking to cut my hair short, but I'm worried I'll turn into
you. Yeah, fair. You might have to wait until mine grows out a little bit and then you can cut yours shorter. We'll do like a swapsies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a couple of years younger than you, so maybe I'll go through the same peak.
Good fucking luck, mate. It's shit. Right, okay, so we've got a very special episode today because we're going to do a UKNS special. Well, it's not UKNS anymore, is it? It's UK and Ireland, but a UK and Ireland's special. We're going to go through some of the events, we're going to go through some predictions, and then we're going to go through Panda's Strongwoman highs and lows. So let's get started on the events. I actually had to look these up because I had forgotten some of them. So let's start from the beginning. First event, log press for reps. How are we feeling about that, Panda?
Yeah, so this is going to be a trump weight for us. So we've got 70 and 80. I will be happy to get a 70 in a comp. I've consistently cleaned it and hit it once, but it's never been something that I've been too happy with. So it's nice also to have a lower weight compared to the official strongman weights, which would be 90, and I just go and I'm just gonna stand and dance in front of this log for 60 seconds and then leave, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be fun to hit a log in a comp,
Hell yeah, you've easily got 70. What's your axle press overhead?
75.
You need to stop fucking about with your log then, don't you? And start pressing 70, dickhead.
I know. It's such a hit and miss. Am I feeling it on the day? Even at England's, I was I could have pressed the 75, but it's just gotta get your head in the game for it, for overhead. You gotta be mental for it, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. That's probably why I'm gonna. Yeah, absolutely. No, I do agree. I love the trump weight options in Natural Strongman. I think that they always do a really good job of setting out trump weights and making it manageable for a lot of the class and for everybody. And obviously for 70 and 80 is perfect weight. But obviously the difference with this is from the chest, which I actually, when I first started training it, really hated. I feel like getting throat punched at any weight log is just not the one at all. But I've managed to find the trick, which was triple ply elbow sleeves. That seems to make it more tolerable. So yeah, I'm aiming for the 80, but we'll see. I'm gonna try and hit just as many reps as possible and hope that it works.
I feel you on the reps because it's just bringing it down. It should be something you do it 100 times in training when it's in your program, but then even just I was just working with a 60, warmed up, and it just came back down, pushes you slightly further back, and you're like, fucking hell, just had a human fall down on me.
Yeah.
For a brief second.
Fall down on you and just all impact straight to windpipe, which is just never great. Never great. No, yeah. I've not enjoyed. I've only trained it for a few weeks, but I've not enjoyed any of those weeks. So yeah, we'll just wait and see. I like a floor to overhead for log. I think it's just safer, feels nicer, not as scary. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see anyway. And I'm also interested to see what everyone's pressing technique is, because I didn't think I'd be able to split jerk multiple reps. Turns out I can, but I think it'll be really interesting to see if people change techniques during this event as well, because I think a lot of people probably start with a push press and then maybe move on to a power jerk or a split jerk, which will be cool to watch.
Yeah, I've always been a power jerker, but Chloe's put in split jerks, so I think she trusts that a bit more, but I feel like I'll probably just go back to my power jerks because dancing with a log, moving your legs is scary, right?
Absolutely not. No, it makes it's more stable, split jerk, more stable. So you need to believe in yourself, believe in the split jerk, the way of the split jerk. Awesome, right. So second event is, we're not going to go through all of the event weights for every category because we'll be here forever. It'll never end, this podcast. So the second event is the push, carry and drag event. Sled into sandbag, carry the sandbag, drop it on the sled, pull the whole sled back. How are you feeling for this?
So when I trained it on a nice bit of fabric, it was nice, and it was like, hell yeah, love this. It's a good bit of cardio. And then I went to Rhinos and trained it, and it was absolutely awful, and I was like, this sucks so much. So it should be better on the day, but it's a classic, like, fun event to do, right?
Yeah. I feel like my definition of fun and your definition of fun events are very different, however. But yeah, I do agree. The one time I trained this at like nearly comp weight, I thought I was going to die. So yeah, I'm not so much looking forward to this one, I think.
Yeah. Well, the thing that concerns me is where it comes in the competition order.
Yeah, second event, it's almost like setting yourself up for failure for the rest of the events. The one time I trained it at the beginning of my session to see how I felt through the rest of the session. And to be fair, I did seem to recover all right, but that's because I did one run at it, not quite at comp weight. So
yeah,
that's maybe why.
The one run is a good way to train it.
Yeah, I think Molly had programmed me 3 rounds, and I was like, in what world? In what world am I ever going to do this 3 times? Like, no fucking way. So yeah, it's just a gassy event, isn't it? I think it'll be really interesting to see how like you and Jess Tate do this, because obviously the self-loaded farmers was really, really like a good event to watch for everybody, and you guys were like so fast and so close to each other, and to me obviously. But like, I think it'll be a good race battle, that one, won't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm also interested to see what the sled setup's going to be like too, to obviously load the sandbag on, because I don't have a sled that you can load a sandbag onto in my gym. It's got a big pole through the middle where you can like load plates onto it. So I haven't practiced that at all. So I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, it is stuff of nightmare fuel. Like, if you are the kind of person that goes to bed before a comp and, thinks about the events, trying to get to sleep, you see yourself fumbling to put the sandbag on there, or like pick up the handles afterwards, or your shoes coming off as you're pushing through. It is nightmare fuel.
I feel like, have you been in my fucking nightmares? This is exactly what I thought. Because one, I don't have the right shoes for it. I have no idea what shoes I'm going to wear on the day, because I don't know how slippy it's going to be. And 2, I don't know what the handle's going to be like, so I'm concerned about that. And 3, I haven't practiced loading a sandbag onto a sled. So all of those things, very accurate for me. I know what I'll be thinking of the night before comp. Cheers, Panda. Yeah. She's already started the psyching out technique. She's going for it.
Yeah, watch me fall over again like the last time I did it. So that's already in my head.
No, you'll be fine. And if you do fall over, we'll all laugh at you. So that should make you feel better.
Everyone should point and laugh when I'm done.
You heard it here first on the podcast. If she falls, we are allowed to point and laugh.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, move on to the third event. So that is the Apollon's deadlift for reps from 13 inches. What are we thinking?
Oh, what a height. I don't like any deadlift from a height. I know you're supposed to be able to get a little bit more out of it, but I'm just long and it doesn't help.
It should surely help for you being so long, because you're like half in the ROM for your deadlift there, aren't you?
Not quite. It's sort of it's very backy. That's the thing. And the way I've trained it, and I assume a lot of people have trained it, is putting some sort of bumper plate underneath, and that just doesn't give you anywhere to move around. So when I went over to Rhinos and they had like a proper setup for it, it was lush.
Yeah.
But we've got wheels for this, which should make it a lot nicer, and all that weight doesn't just hit you at once. I felt like I hadn't deadlifted ever, and the way that I started training for this was probably quite similar to what you said as well, like just a couple of weeks. So I went from doing like, oh, just do some nice like 110 deadlifts to being like 160 the next week, and my CNS was like, whoa, cowboy, what we doing?
Yeah, 100%. Mine was the same. I do think it's a tricky height to train from, because we've got like blocks that I've been using in the gym to put my deadlift on, and like it took me about 3 or 4 sessions to find the right technique. Like the first session I did on it, I think I tried to pull 140 and failed it, and was like, oh shit, this is bad, because this is a trump option weight as well, isn't it? And I can't remember what ours is, but it's something, and then 180. And obviously, I am desperate to try and pull a 180 in comp. So I'm going to go for that, because I have actually done it in the gym. So it feels like it might be possible.
Yes, but the issue that scares me is the 2 events that come before it, because I was training happily thinking, oh, we'll just do the deadlift and carry on with our day. But yeah, then I saw that and I was like, great.
Yeah, I think the push carry drag is going to probably cause some problems for people's legs on the deadlift, definitely, because it is quite heavy, isn't it? Like even for 13 inch, it's a heavy deadlift, especially on a stiff bar too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how people fare on that. Right, 4th event then. So as if our hamstrings weren't destroyed enough, we then go into circus dumbbell and stone to shoulder reps with the rubber stones. What we thinking for this?
So I didn't read this properly. I didn't realize it was a trump weight. I thought it was a melody.
Oh God.
But I love a circus dumbbell. So I think a good 40 is in my range. I've done an 80 rubber ball before, as well as a natural stone, but it's just like, is it play it safe and get a few, easy reps, or just try and push that upper end? So we'll see on the day, I guess.
Yeah. I've touched the rubber stones before, twice maybe in my life. But for this entire prep, I've just used a tackless Atlas stone, which I'm hoping is as close to rubber stone as possible. But we will see, because I feel like people have told me that it's not going to be the same at all. So I'm slightly concerned about the stone, not so much the dumbbell. Dumbbell will be fine.
Yeah, likewise. I got to train on a 60. I tried to recreate with like an 80 sample, but it's just not the same. So I didn't even think to try and compare that weight. You see how it feels. I feel like you'll be able to pick it up very easily. It's a very technical lift compared to like a normal stone as well. And it's just that rubber gives you like nothing.
Yeah. So I've been practicing it like almost hooking underneath the stone with my arm. So getting like as low as possible, having like my chin resting on the top of the stone and then hooking underneath it so I can like lift it up. The only problem is it is a hamstring killer. My hamstrings fucking hate that movement like so much. It's not even funny. They've every time I've done it, I think they've felt like they're going to ping off. Like it's not been my favorite bit of prep.
Yeah, well, hopefully they won't, but it sounds like that technique is exactly what you're looking for it, because I've done something similar, but less of a, like getting my hamstrings out for it. I just kind of I've got strong wrists from other stone lifting things, so just do that.
What flex? Strong wrists. I've got the strongest wrists in the land. No, I love that. I actually do think out of all of the events that we've got, I actually think this is going to be one of my like favorite, most fun events if my hamstrings manage to stay attached throughout. But I think this is going to be like a right bit of crack. And I like the fact that we can choose whichever implement to start with.
Yeah, exactly. I think beside the after party, this was one of the things that turned me to sign up for it as well. Like this seems very fun.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the more exciting events of the day to watch. But yeah, it should be a good one, that. And like, I'm quite interested to see how many reps people can get in the 60 seconds. Because I have an idea of what I can get in my head. And I'm like, have I undershot? Have I overshot? Like, I wonder what everyone else is going to do.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see people's techniques as well, because I'm not used to wearing a belt when I do stones to shoulder. But It obviously helps you in this case get that little bit extra if you can hook it
Yeah.
under. But I need a belt for the way I do my dumbbell. I would like to wear wrist wraps, but for the way I do my dumbbell, but I can't because it doesn't help on the stones at all.
You shouldn't have to wear wrist straps if your wrists are so strong, Panda.
Only in side position.
Wrists are only strong in this position, not in this
position. Not that position. This one.
No, crackers. Absolute crackers. You don't need wrist straps. That's in your head, that, mate. That's proper in your head. I'm going to psych you out about that before this event as well. Why have you not got your wrist straps on? You sure your wrist is going to be all right?
Ooh, you okay there?
I love how this shit talking has already begun. Right. So, 5th event, farmers with a turn. How are we feeling about that?
So in training, I went through like, this sucks, this is okay, this sucks, and then I ended on this is okay, doing 80 per hand. So I feel okay. They certainly they always just want to make these farmers really interesting. I would personally like those walking stones that we did at Brits a couple of years ago. I think that would be a bit more fun, especially like putting that turning element into it.
Absolutely not. That sounds fucking awful.
But I'm keen to see how it goes because, from personal experience, if you get a turn wrong, you might just end up going, instead of straight, like off piece. So
yeah,
it could go any way, right?
Yeah, this is what I'm also interested in. I'm also interested to see how much space we have to turn, because we're not turning round an object, are we? We're just turning once our foot crosses a line.
Yeah,
so,
which I would prefer as well.
Yeah, I think, I like this way, but only because I have a plan. I have a plan to attack this, which won't be mentioned here because it's a secret. You'll have to wait until the day.
No, if it's anything like how you did those walking stones at Brits, I really look forward to seeing this.
That was an elite way to do it. I just didn't have a gas tank to follow it through till the very end. But if I'd actually trained that more, I think that would have been the elitist way. So for anyone who doesn't know, when we did Brits, we had it was like a dinny stone sort of setup, wasn't it? And I think they wanted us to hold them either side of us and like waddle along like that. And
the traditional way, the way God intended.
Well, God didn't intend the dinny stones themselves to be picked up that way, did he? So not quite right, no. So I went the traditional dinny way and held them in between my legs and waddled like a duck. And I was so fast off the mark as well. It was just, I didn't have the gas tank to carry it on.
You look like something out of, like a nightmare fueled gremlin running towards.
I was super happy
with
myself. Yeah, I thought it was great, and everyone else was massively offended by it. But I mean, it sort of worked. It was one of those, where you look back and you think, if I'd trained that, I could have fucking won that event with that weird shit technique.
Honestly, you probably could have, like, insane enough to just do it.
I know, hindsight. But I should have trained harder that one time, but. Also, shit event to train. I hated it. I think actually as well, I came up with running with them in between my legs about a week before. I was like, do you know what would be easier than this? Doing it this way. And then I was like, fuck, too late to train this. Now I'll just have to wing it on the day. But
yeah. But this is a very, similar. It's a big grip event, that turn as well, because at points I've turned and that's the thing that sets your grip off because, the movement within your hand. I like to think I've got a good grip. But, I also like to think like potatoes are vegetables and chips are a salad. So we'll see.
Very fair, very fair. And it's quite heavy, isn't it? For us in the under 82s, it's 85 kilos a hand, which is actually quite a significant weight to be doing 30 meters with and a turn. And if you drop it, you're done.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, it does. It would absolutely suck if you dropped it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it's just like, oh, that's it,
Yeah, done in. And then, so moving on to the final event, we have the keg loading race, 3 kegs from 10 meters out. And I actually can't remember what weights I'm meant to be doing. I think, is it 80, 90, 100 or something?
Yeah, got it up.
Hell yeah.
for that.
80, 90, 100 for the under 82. So, yeah, how are you feeling for this one?
I guess it's like the last of a very long every day.
Yeah.
So we'll just see what we can do. I've only ever touched kegs twice up until this point, like in a comp. I think I have a very different technique to other people, but it's just the loading that will, make a difference. It's a high platform. You've got to push it up as well. I would
Yeah.
rather do something like back in Europe where you just dump it in a bin and run off,
Yeah, 100%. Me too. I hate standing them up. It's such a waste of time.
Yeah, it seems like an extra etiquette for almost no one's enjoyment.
No, and if anything, worse for the loaders as well, because what an absolute chew getting them standy up kegs off of those high platforms. Like, I'd be sick as fuck if I was loading for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like wherever I've gone to train this, it's like either a decent keg, like it's loadable, or it's like water, and you pick it up and all the water comes out on you.
Yeah, 100%. I've been covered in. I've got loads of scratches and scrapes and bruises from our kegs. It feels like there's no comfortable way to pick up a keg at all. And I've only ever trained them in sets of 2 because I couldn't be bothered to do the third one. So I'm also interested to see whether I can continue and do a third one or not.
Yeah, it's very like I said, it's at the end of a very, very long day. So
well,
we'll see.
it won't be that long because the timings are actually on the Natural Strongman website, and they've said that the women's competition starts at 10 and will end at 2 because that's when the men start.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the sense of like, it will feel long doing lots and lots of events.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's
I'm
nearly.
happy to finish at 2 as long as I can start getting ready for the after party that I probably will not be able to attend by that point.
You'll be smashed by the time of the after party if you start at 2. Class. No, I'm excited for this. I'm happy that they're doing the way that they're running it. So they're running the women's first because I love those short comps. I think trying to get through 6 events in 4 hours with like the amount of athletes that are there. Like, I know Natural Strongman obviously have the background of being able to pull stuff off like this, but I do think that's like maybe a little bit tight, but it'll be interesting to see. And I do like that setup though, because it means you don't have to warm up for anything. You just go on straight onto the next one.
Yeah. It was lovely the way it was run at England. It was like one thing into the next. And as much as I appreciate like the lunch break or whatever, it's nice to just get it over and done with.
Yeah, I fucking hate a lunch break. If someone stops a comp for a lunch break, I am already checked out. It's not my vibe, that. Fuck your lunch break. I want to just get cracked on and leave again. Yeah. So anyway, so they're the events. Right, should we move on to some predictions, shall we? You've said that you're a betting man, so you would like to put some bets on.
Yeah, so looking at the under 57, should we start with them?
Yeah, let's start with them, yeah.
I was quite interested because I went on to strength results and had a look at some of the names that were on the Instagram post. And, this is really a good opportunity because I never chat to anyone at comps because I'm already doing something else and I just don't have like the energy for that. And then afterwards, so it's just really good to just like see some of the names and some of the performances that happened like over the last couple of months. But yeah, the under 57s is just Scotland and England. So it's not really like a nations championship. It's more like a rugby match, but we'll go for.
Yeah.
I think from Scotland, we've probably got like, is it Amy Coyle and Elsa Bissett? I might be saying these wrong, but they had some really good performances in the under 57s. And I've written this down really badly, so I actually can't read my own handwriting.
Done notes, can't read them.
Yeah. And in England, I've got Kat. I can't read her last name.
Kat McEwie-Heap.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have written this in like a light pencil, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree. All three of those would be ones to watch. I think the other ones to watch would be Lizzie Nightingale. If she's back full fitness, I think she'll be a bit of a whirlwind to deal with because she's obviously coached by Willow, queen of the under 57s previously. And also Michelle Slusarek. I see her about all of the time, and she seems to be putting on a really decent comp performance at the moment. And Tamsin Ribton Turner as well. I always seem to hear her name on podiums whenever she's competing. So I think it's actually a pretty stacked class, the under 57s, to be honest. If we haven't mentioned your name, we do apologise, but that's just luck of the draw, unfortunately. Come and attack us at the comp and tell us why we should talk about you.
Come introduce yourself, because I probably haven't met you.
Exactly.
But Lizzie Nightingale, she came through from the Four Nations, didn't she? I'm correct.
Yes. I don't know.
We're going to make that assumption. And
we can make that assumption. Lizzie, if you're listening and it's not true, fact check us and let us know. Perfect. Right. Let's move on then to the under 64s. Very small class. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 competing in the 64s, which just seems like a bit of a shame. And again, but we do actually have, all four nations for once, but only one from Wales and one from Ireland and one from Scotland.
But it's good to see that, diversity. I think, so from England, I've got Hannah Smith and Rachel Jackson.
Yes.
And then Ireland, Emma Keys. But that being said, in the Welsh, so Jolene Lewis, I don't think she finished the rest of the comp. So it'd be good, given the way she started with the deadlift, it'd be good to see what her performance could be.
Yeah, because I'm sure Jolene Lewis just competed in the untested Wales' Strongest Woman as well, because I'm sure we discussed her on my podcast about Wales' Strongest Woman with Kim, Mel and Beth. And they were talking about her as being really, really good, but she'd had that injury at Natural Wales. I think also in this category, Shannon Rees. So she did obviously England's and looked like she had no idea. Well, she did admit she had no idea what was going on all day, but she's a super strong competitor. So I think if she's trained for this comp and actually knows what's going on, I think she'll be one to watch. And then obviously the return of Tatiana Cousins, who is just an absolute powerhouse. To be honest, I think for me, I've got Tatiana winning the 64s. I'll say it now.
Yeah, I could see that as well. And yeah, I mean, Shannon's incredibly strong. So it's just another exciting class, isn't it? These lightweight classes.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
So competitive.
Yeah, it is. And it's just a shame about the numbers, I think. It is, because I think that'll be a really cool battle. I'd put your podium definitely in contention for Tatiana, Rachel, Hannah, and Shannon. Which I know I've gone very just all England's there. Sorry, everybody.
I think
English
there's
racist.
a lot of room to steal points off each other, right? And that's where it could, you've got to be on your game for that. So, it'd be exciting to see. Though I probably, unfortunately, won't be paying enough attention because I'll be warming up.
We'll just be too busy on the day. I always have to go back and check strength results afterwards because I have no idea what anyone else has done during the day apart from myself. But I think you've got to be like that at comps, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right. So next category, we have the Masters under 73s, who Tatiana Cousins is also competing in. So she's going to have a fucking busy day.
Yeah. So I guess, if she has a good enough day doing, like I said, this is a lot of events to be doing, then she could very well podium at this as well. I've also got, obviously, from Scotland, Wendy Stewart in here. She's just won the Scotland Strongest Masters last weekend. That could affect her performance, but that woman's she runs on a different kind of diesel, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she is fucking mental. I love her.
So I could see her, being on that podium for sure. And then I think I've also got, who else have I got down here? I I've put a number next to Lindsay Penn purely because she was one of the few people to do the 100 sandbag according to strength results. And that seems like, after a hard day, like to be able to pull that out of the bag, because I couldn't even be bothered to do that, but still, there's still a lot of room to steal points in some of these areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously we've got returning champion Suzanne Reynolds. She'll be one to watch. I think Wendy Stewart could potentially give her a run for her money. I think Daisy Edwards as well, who won England's. I think she could potentially have a good run up at that podium too. And I know Sally Brealey was she second? And she wasn't far behind Daisy on that day. Was she second or third? I can't remember.
What, Kirsty was third?
Oh, so Sally was second, yeah. So I think, Sally Brealey's got a good chance of like stealing some points. But then obviously, once you throw like the others and Tatiana in there as well, it'll be very interesting. I wonder if Tatiana's doing all events. Like, I wonder if she has to do them all.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because it's her and there's someone else who's doing, two classes at the same time. Like I said, different kind of diesel, man. I could not be doing that.
Absolutely not. 12. That's like 12 events in 4 hours. Nah, mate.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Like, that's genuinely the worst thing I've ever heard. I've never done a training session that hard in my life. So yeah, I think I'd just die. But fair play if you want to do it. It's very intensive. But yeah, I think there's going to be a good podium battle in that Masters Under 73. I think that one will be an exciting one to look back at after we've done the comp.
Yeah.
Or watch if you're there. Apart from, if you're going to go and watch it in person, get ready to spend some dollar, because I had a look at the tickets before, the spectator tickets, and they're like 23 quid to go to Wolverhampton.
Yeah. And this mug went and bought them, so too.
Mug. I'd be sneaking people in through the bathroom windows, me. Fuck paying that money to go anywhere in Wolverhampton.
Well,
Sorry, Natural Strongman.
It's £11 for the accessibility one, but I was like, if I get that, then I don't think Abby will be very happy with me.
I'll have to get her a blue badge as well.
She's dyslexic, so does that count?
Yeah, I think you can count that, absolutely.
Yeah, she booked the tickets. Like, I just got it confused. Picked the wrong thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Great reasoning. No, I'd go with that. Yeah, if they're going to try and charge you that amount of money, you've got to have a little pickle somewhere, haven't you? Right, let's move on then to the 73s. So this, I think, is a really interesting category. I think it'll be really exciting, this 73s. There's some big hitter names in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, my sheet, I haven't put anyone down from England being on that podium.
Really?
Yeah. I've got, is it Aisha?
Yeah.
She just did.
No, Elisha, I think it is.
Elisha. Apologies. Yeah. So strong.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Horrifically strong.
So yeah, if she's not at the top of the podium, then yeah. And then I've also got the person that came first at Scotland's Emily Barter, and possibly from Ireland, Mary Egan.
Yeah, OG Strongwoman Mary Egan. She has been about for ages.
Yeah, but I think it's very much like a fight between that second and third place. There's still some very strong people in that class. Like you got Taylor Southgate as well, who's doing those 2 classes as well, that can just steal points from people.
100%. See, I'd be putting Taylor Southgate at podium. Like, I think she's going to be on the podium no matter what. She is so strong and so well-rounded. I don't see how she wouldn't hit podium. And then I also think Catherine Ross, I think she did, where did she come in England? Was it second or third? Let me just double fact check before I...
She came third.
Third.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she seems to be like have been training with an absolute vengeance for UK. So I think it'll be interesting to see where she stacks up against the rest of the classes too. I think she'll be fighting for that podium spot, but I wouldn't put her on the podium in this lineup, but it wouldn't surprise me if she came like fourth and she was only a couple of points behind that third podium place.
Yeah. In all of these, I don't see like a massive gap, like goes between like first and second.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And we've got Ailey in there as well. Ailey returning, and I think she'll be fucking hard going as well. She'll be hard to beat.
Oh, so exciting.
So exciting!
I know, if I wasn't competing, I'd be watching.
Not for 20 quid. We'll be watching it on Strong Pass for $8.99.
I'm not going to Wolverhampton.
Not a chance. To be honest, it almost decided me not to go when I found out the venue. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are they doing to us? But anyway, I've whinged enough about Natural Strongman and I've had some consequences, so I'll stop. Maybe. Right, move on to the best category of all, the under 82s. Unfortunately, a very slimlined category yet again. Eight competitors. Yes. Where's everybody gone?
So I see, Jess having another great day out.
I bet you do.
Us enjoying in her shadow.
You cheeky bastard.
But that being said, there is 8 competitors, and the last time I came 8th place in a comp, I had 8 pints, so I see a chance to redeem myself there.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? You had to have a pint for every place that you came. That was great.
So that's my motivation, that if I come last, then I have to have all those pints again. And I'm 2 years older, and I don't think I'll be as spriteful the next day.
Absolutely not, mate. Every year counts on those hangovers. It gets progressively worse as you get older. No, I think we've got the podium down like between. Well, to be fair though, Sharon Williamson, if she makes weight, I don't know what her weight is like, because I remember last time, I think talking to her at England's, and she was going on and saying that the cutting weight was a struggle bus. But I think if she manages to make weight, I think Sharon actually might give some of us a run for our money. But I would be pretty set on the podium being you, me, and Jess, with obviously me at the top.
Yeah. There is a lot of room to like steal points off on this. We have to be on our A game. I would like to be on the podium because of events of a couple of months ago. But yeah, I've just got to really be on A game for this. And like I said, it's a long day. It is a long day. So given some people have some very good deadlifts and some very good overheads, but it's about being able to gas yourself throughout that day. And if you're an under 82, I'm sorry, look, we're too fat to be under 73s and we're too weak to be open. So
that is literally exactly what our class is for. Yeah, I love it.
So
yeah, no, totally agree. Although, actually, fuck off. I've done opens loads of times. I'm not very good at it, but...
That's my point.
Yeah, fair, actually. Yeah, that is sort of the point. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. No, I think I'm a bit disappointed, if I'm going to be honest, about this class. I think it's a real shame, because at England's, I was buzzing with the amount of competitors. And, like, genuinely, at England's, I remember thinking, I actually might not make this podium. Having, like... listen to the podcast and people saying, oh yeah, Becca's going to win this, and then actually getting there on the day and like coming 9th on the deadlift, I was like, fuck. Like, I actually had to try really hard. Yeah, on those last few events, I actually tried really, really hard because I was shitting myself that I was going to miss out on that podium. So yeah, this feels like a little bit of a, like, not a step down, but just like there's not as much chance of it going wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. I felt the exact same way. And so when thinking about the UK's, I was like, very much like, I'm not going to push myself to do something like that with the amount of competitors again. And like, you're talking like the best of the best, right? Like, I was not up for that challenge. So it's a shame to see like some names have dropped out. But we're the best class because we go to have fun, not lift weights.
Exactly. We're only there for fun. Nothing else. We're definitely not there for the fucking trophies, that's for sure. So we've got to be there for something. Yeah, no, it is a bit of a shame, but I just don't really understand why they didn't drop down a lot of invites. Like, did everyone else just really not want to do it? Like, I don't get it. It's a real shame. Like, we've got one from Scotland, one from Wales, two from Ireland. Like, what happened to the rest of them? Where did everyone else go? And there was like, how many competitors in England? Was it like 20 odd?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I don't know how that the procedure is when they drop the invites down, but maybe it could have come a bit earlier, or this been spaced out a bit more so people could have had a bit more time, because maybe some people felt like it was just a bit of like a, coming around quite fast, especially from England.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think the way that they've done it with having the England's, UK's, Europe's, and World's, there's not a lot of room. I get what they're doing. I get they're doing it so that we have a sort of comp season, and then there's like a potential for an off season. However, it has meant that all of those comps are very, very close together, and with them being so heavy and so intense, it's difficult training for all four.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we've probably seen a few names drop out, like from the under 57s and the under 73s.
Yeah,
big names.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it is a bit of a shame. But anyway, right, on to the Opens. The Opens. Actually, probably one of my most exciting favourite looking classes. I'm well excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah. The Scots, different kettle of fish in the Opens. Hope Christie, they've got a lot of natural strongman equipment up in the gyms there, and they're very so when it comes to a technical comp like this, strength is good, but it's not the case of practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. So we're just trying to emulate what they've got. But that being said, if some of the England girls, turn up and don't fuck around with these mind games and shit, Anna, she's hella strong. And Jade, they did really well at England, so they could, push the Scottish girls for a few points at least.
Yeah, 100%. I genuinely think this is going to be a battle for podium between Rosalind, Hope, Anna, and Jade. And I think probably Jade Harkin from Ireland, I think she'll also push a lot of people as well, probably steal a lot of points. And even Louise Neesham as well, who is originally an under 82 but has gone up to the Opens. I know she did the Opens at England's, and like if her head's in the game, she's a savage competitor as well. And I think she could probably push that podium too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very exciting. I actually think the Women's Opens is probably one of my favourite looking categories.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like they're absolutely, like, the numbers they're putting up is insane. It's almost scary. Yeah, like I said, 2 weeks to be an Open. I'm not doing that. I'm comfy in my under 82 class. If I had a better
deadlift, I'd have absolutely sacked off the under 82s and gone straight into the Opens. But I physically can't. Not with my poverty deadlift. I need to wait until I get better.
With my overhead, I just can't match the overheads. I will one day, but not this split year.
And stop being a pussy. That's your advice from me.
I can split jerk. My problem learning the split jerk was I used to do fencing, so it just really fucked with my head.
Course you did. Course you used to fence. That's so typical you, Panda. Why did it fuck with your head? Yeah, it is. It's a fencing slur. Yeah, 100%. Why did it fuck with your head? Is it because you're pointing outwards instead of pointing upwards?
No. The foot position's completely off. So it's it's a similar kind of lunge, but with a split jerk, you want your hips to be tight, so more inwards. Whereas the lunge is just like fucking, I don't know, tear your adductor, whatever. And it's from one position, so it just kind of fucked with my head for a bit, and I've got past that bit, but it's still a bit like, yeah, you're not really supposed to be in a lunge for a long time.
You just need to get better at it. I feel like all you're doing is giving me excuses. Fucking fencing as an excuse. Shut up. Never heard something so ridiculous in my life, Panda. Right, let's move on. Final categories. The Masters, Opens. Well, let's quickly do the juniors. So we've only got Taylor Southgate and Lily Burgess. So I'm guessing Taylor's going to win.
Yeah, I could go for that. But I hope they have fun. And I hope they do push each other. Because it's nice when you... Like, I've been in comps where it's just been, like, two people. Like, an England's qualifier. The first one that I made the first time we met. And it was just me and Desi, and it's like, of course I'm not gonna like beat Desi, but we had like a grand old time, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully it's worth traveling to Wolverhampton from. Hopefully she doesn't have to come far.
Hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully not. Bless them. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that I know there was obviously only 3 in the Englands, but yeah, it does seem a bit of a shame that they haven't had more pickup for UKs. But again, might just be because people are waiting for Europe's instead. Yeah. But then we've got the Masters Open. So who are you thinking for this? Whose bets on?
Eve Bennett, Maria. Oh, Sarah's good. Sarah always underplays it, but she's so strong in training. Also, yeah, coached by Chloe, but yeah, she's just so strong in her overhead as well.
Yeah. With you, I'd have probably put Sarah at the top. I feel like she's sort of just on the borderline of waiting for that big win. And she tries so hard. Like, I love watching her compete because she's just so focused and strong. Like, I don't know what it is about her. I just really like her.
Yeah, I think these are good events for her, so we could see that. I know Maria, you know, she's come back from a few things, so it's very much like a fun comp for her, but she's still like a very, very strong woman, very capable.
Yeah, Maria's a savage. I think Maria will be on that podium.
Yeah, she'll surprise herself for sure.
Yeah.
And Michelle Leary from Scotland. Right?
Yeah, she's really strong as well.
God, it just doesn't get easier as you get older. Like,
no, it doesn't actually.
So
yeah, it used to be that the Masters was sort of a bit of an easy route out, and it's absolutely, if anything, it's worse now. Like, it's so much harder. I do think also Rebecca Patterson, I've seen her compete a few times. She's really strong. And Rebecca Jackson, she's been on the podcast before, and she has been taking training real fucking serious for this. I've seen some really cool stuff that she's been doing in training. She's coached by Rosie Abercrombie, and she's, I think, to be fair, potentially in with a little shot at that podium, maybe 4th, 5th off of the podium. But yeah, another massively strong class as well. Like, I think that one's a really good one for like competitiveness. But again, small, isn't it? 1, 2, 3,
and they're very
4,
close together in their performances.
Yeah, only 8 in that category too. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It does feel a lot like people have sort of not bothered with UKs because they want to do the inaugural Europes instead.
Yeah, especially like you see those like 1st or 2nd places not there, probably because of that.
Yeah,
it's just a shame. It could have made it a bit more exciting, but you know, you gotta, you know what's best for you over the year, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot to tie yourself into, is to do the full pathway. Like, I'm not doing Europes regardless of whether I actually qualify or not, because I'm on holiday and I'm not going a day late to my holiday because I don't want to. So
fair. Yeah, I will not be doing it either. I think this will be my last like proper one for the year. Until, because Europe's is in October now, so that's quite nice. But I want to prioritize other things this year. Like,
fair enough. Sad though.
It's expensive to compete, so I've got to be a bit more rational with my money, and I've got better opportunities coming up for some weightlifting. So
hell yeah. No, I'm totally with you on that. It's such an expensive sport, and I know I've obviously mentioned about natural strongman being quite an expensive pathway to be involved with, despite the backlash. But yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's not just the comp entry fees, is it? It's the travel, it's the accommodation, it's the time that you're taking away from your family or from home or from your job or whatever. Like, it's a lot, like, especially if you've got a real job as well. Like, I have the benefit of not having a real job. I work for myself a lot of the time. So like me taking a Friday off to go to a weigh-in is like no big deal. If you're in a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, that's like a pretty big deal to take a full day off just to go for a weigh-in and then pay whatever it is, 90 quid to enter the comp as well. Like, it's a lot of money, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So yeah, and if I didn't have this job, I almost didn't do this comp because I had a lot of other things going on in my work, and I was thinking, do I want this? Like, do I want to commit the money to this when I might have to potentially look for another job? And if it got to that point, then I'm like, well, I probably just have to like cut back on the strongman stuff. Like, the food is expensive now, especially like we're going up 10% now.
Yeah.
The traveling to gyms, the amount of time I'm putting into the gym, it's just gonna have to come back because it's not like that's not making us money, and it's not the only thing in the world. You
Yeah.
know, I need to have a job.
Yeah.
I like my job, but at the moment as well, I've got a very nice situation where I can travel for work as well. So I can go to other places. I have flexible working, and I have a uni day as well. So it does make that a little bit easier. But yeah, it's not as accommodating for everyone, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think it's you're right with just the overall cost, isn't it? When you think of it as like a hobby that's meant to be bringing something for your life, like to your life, that's making it better, but then actually the potential financial drain of that hobby actually takes away from your life, makes it slightly harder than it needs to be. So it's like finding the balance between those things, isn't it? And yeah, working it out
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And sometimes you get nice places that we travel for comps as well, which make it like a nice holiday. So
Yeah.
if the promoters put it in nicer places as well, then people will do them. I'm just saying.
100. I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons that UK numbers are down is because it's in fucking Wolverhampton. And I'm sorry if you're from Wolverhampton and you love it, but if you do, I don't believe you. Like, I genuinely don't. It's just not a nice place. Like, I travel to Rome for a fucking comp, but that's because it's Rome, and I always wanted to see it. Cool place, like cool stuff to do. But Wolverhampton, what are we gonna do? Go to fucking B&M? Cool.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah, exactly. I've said this so many times, but the last time I was ever in Wolverhampton was years ago, and we did a Bird of Prey show there, me and my husband. And it wasn't a bad show. It was okay. Everything was fine. But I vividly remember driving in the van back home with him saying, I will never go to Wolverhampton ever again because I hate it here. And look at me now, going back and actually paying to go there this time. Last time, at least I was fucking paid. But this time, no, taking a small loan out to go there. So very upset.
It's not on the bottom for me. I'd say the bottom is Hartlepool with my sister.
You cheeky bastard.
Drove all the way there, went to the beach. I thought my car was going to get smashed in. There was nothing alive on that beach. There was nothing alive. You maybe see like a small little crab or something. No. And okay, we had a nice time afterwards, but we went to Cleethorpes afterwards, so it doesn't really count. Grimsby was where the comp was.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm taking offense to the Hartlepool thing, seeing as my gym that I own is in fucking Hartlepool, but I do also agree with, do you leave your car somewhere you feel like it's going to get smashed in? Because I think that all the time, and I never leave my gym bag in my car around Hartlepool or Middlesbrough because I think it will get stolen. So, yeah, you're sort of fair there. But I'm not putting Hartlepool down with Wolverhampton, though. That feels like a shandeal, that. Wolverhampton's way lower than Hartlepool. Way fucking lower. No.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Right. Okay. Let's move on then, because we've already been on this podcast for nearly an hour and I know you're getting sick of me. So let's move on. We'll do like a mini version. And then if I don't get enough out of you, then we'll just have to have you back on again in a year or two and do another review podcast of yourself. So tell me, Panda, what has been your Strongwoman high?
So I guess a little bit of cheating, but I'd say like my entire competitive year of 2024, because that was just like a whirlwind of like achievements one into the next and like opportunities. So I mean, it started off with like not being like the best year for me. But like for me, if I get through January, it will be a good year. Because I fucking hate Januaries. Nothing ever good happens to me then. But we had the England in Feb, luckily. And that was a comp that it was in Nuneaton, so my mum came along to it. And I think she had a good time. She seemed a bit stressed, but for anyone out there, you know how special it is for like your parents to come to like your shows. You know, as you're older, you're just like, oh, come watch me. You know, the same way that
Yeah.
they come watch you do a dance show, but you're an adult.
Yeah.
So that was just like, yeah, it was a really wholesome time. And then following after that, I then did Europe's and England's back to back, where I just had like a grand like competition. Go straight into Europe's for the first time, which is a great experience. If anyone gets to do it, like you should at least do it once, I
Yeah.
think. Just like the people you meet, the like the way it's treated, I think was quite interesting. Especially as like a 2-day comp was something I'd never done before, and it made me like the second day got me because my body felt fine, but she was like picking up that sandbag, and it was like no systems are firing here. I had no pain. I'm like, so it was great to go to, and then we finished off the year with Brits in Birmingham, and that was so much fun. Like I had my best friend from work came to see it, and she was like, "What's all this?"
Yeah.
And I ended up coming fourth, and just like, yeah, I pulled a 200 deadlift PB, which we all, you know, love.
Hell yeah.
You wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, raw fucking dick.
So yeah, it was just like that entire year was like an absolute whirlwind of like just great comps, and like I had a few niggles that year, but they just like smoothed out very like effectively. So I'm very grateful that there wasn't anything that hit me that year.
Nice. I love that. How long had you been competing or training for before that year, before 2024?
So I started training with Chloe in 2021, so it would have been 3 years.
Yeah.
And the year before that was my first England's. And that year at the start of 2023, I could barely pull 130 off the ground.
Yeah.
So
You're a fucking savage.
I can only deadlift.
Which is impressive because of how tall you are as well. You've got very long legs.
Yeah, I think I just found something that worked, and when you find it works, you just keep doing it. Like hammer that shit home. Like beat the dead horse and beat it again, because you'll get a deadlift PB out of it.
Fuck yeah, I love that. How did you originally get into Strongwoman?
So I started weightlifting, like going to the gym when I started uni, and my degree was in cybersecurity. So I knew like whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up at a desk, right? And that's not like what I want to do. So I saw like all the Olympic weightlifting on Instagram, and I was like, I want to do this for a bit. Wasn't very good at it, and then I joined the powerlifting society at uni. Decided to do that for a bit. Also, wasn't very good at it. And then over the lockdown, like I followed Chloe on Instagram, and I saw she was offering like powerlifting coaching. So I was like, "Oh, Gab, should I like sign up for a coach or something?" And she was like, "Yeah, just put your name in, see what happens." And I came to Chloe being like, "Look, I just want to do powerlifting stuff. I don't want to do any of this strongman malarkey."
Yeah.
And I was actually, when I met her, I was about 63 kilograms. So I was like very, very light. Yeah.
You must have looked like a stick insect at that weight.
You can probably, compare the pictures to like on my Instagram, right? Yeah. So she's like, right, we're going to put a bit of weight on just to be like healthy.
Yeah.
I probably like dumbing this down in like what it actually was. But, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, go on. Like, we'll do like one strongman comp. I think it was like Birmingham Strongest. And then I'd had a bit of training went and was basically shitting myself throughout that entire comp. Ended up winning it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is quite good. Can we do England's now?" And Chloe was like, "No."
You're
So
like,
I just
I'm
had
in,
to,
let's go.
yeah. But it was just like progressively like, oh, that's the way I need to hit. Let's try and like hit those goals in the gym, and then we can then go off and try and qualify and see where we land. And the confidence just builds from there, really.
Yeah.
Which is nice for like why those trump weights come in, right? Because if I was to look at England the way I was back then, I'd be like, there's no way I can do that comp. I need to stay in the gym,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But to be able to go and hit something makes you feel good.
Yeah, 100%. I do agree. That's why I like natural strongman. I think it's why the like nations competitions was so well filled in most of them, because they made it so accessible for everybody. And I do agree, like, I think that's just the way forward. If you look at a comp and you think, oh, there's no way in hell I'm going to hit that weight, it does not even enter your mind to enter that comp, like most of the time. Whereas if you think, oh, actually, 3 or 4 of them events, I could probably hit the lighter weights on, you'll probably sign up for it and do it. And it pushes you to do better and try better and train harder as well, doesn't it? So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. And like the feeling doesn't entirely go away. Like I still look at stuff and I'm like kind of shitting myself about some weights and stuff. But it's like putting yourself in that position. You like if you look at me now and then compared to my first England's,
Yeah,
it's a shell of difference. It's just being in that environment, builds the
absolutely.
confidence.
I know, and I think you sell yourself short on how confident you are, because I think you're a really confident competitor. You almost just need that tiny little bit extra just to believe in yourself more, because you're a savage. You'll beat me soon, probably very soon. But
Yeah, or
like,
have max distance on every event. Yeah,
max distance and deadlift, that's the
yeah,
only events in the comp. You've got me. Well, actually,
yeah.
nah. If I trained max distance events, you'd be fucked. Absolutely fucked. Just don't train them. I'll not train them until you get better at overhead, and then I'm going to start training them.
It makes sense. But yeah, that I think I've probably sold my story short, but it's quite. I haven't spent enough time reflecting on it, but it is just got in touch with Chloe, and I've probably been with her like a very long time, which is nice. It's like some people switch coaches quite often, but it's nice to have a long-standing coach, and it feels like you got a friend in your corner. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I do agree, and I think I'd get the people swapping coaches and finding different people, but I do think when you find that person that works well with you, stick with what you know. Like, if it works well for you and it makes your hobby more enjoyable and better, and you can trust that person and know that those things that they program will get you the results that you want, then why would you change that? Like, I think this about Molly all the time. Like, I've been with Molly now for like 5 years, I think. I've nearly logged 500 workouts on True Coach with her. I'm ready for I hope she's going to give me a gold star or something, because and if I don't get one, I'll be fucking furious. But yeah, like, I do think once you found that person and it works, just stick with it. And like, if like that's what works with you and Chloe, then that's great. And she's like started you from the beginning of that journey as well, which is sort of how like Molly did it with me. Like, I hadn't done very well or done very many comps before I found Molly, and then all of a sudden I was fucking pretty good at a Strongman. So
yeah, exactly. And they can see that evolution of you, which is really like it must be very wholesome for them.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, wholesome for all of us. It's just wholesome for everybody, right? Let's move on and ruin these good vibes for a minute then, shall we? And move on to your Strongwoman lows.
Yeah. So you remembered I sprinkled I don't like Januaries. So 2025 was working up for the England's Natural Strongman comp, and I got hit with a pop on my deadlift, which we all love. If you're ever going to get injured in the gym, it's never nice to say, "Oh, I got injured deadlifting," right? Because everyone's like, "Oh, of course you did."
Yeah,
But
and then tells you to stop deadlifting.
Yeah, but I was putting the weight down, and I think it was because it was banded. It sort of just like, the pressure just sort of shot out. But it was luckily my hip and not my back. But being 24, I decided to just crack on.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I laid on the floor for a bit, and then I tried to call Gabs 5 times, and she was in bed. And then I came back home, and I was like, "Why don't you pick up?" So it's nice to know that she loves me. But so I had to go through all the rehab with that, and I had a very good physiotherapist here in Milton Keynes. So it's nice to know that there are people around you that when they have these injuries, that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But that sort of just like set me off for like, what the hell am I even doing? Like, if this is going to happen to me, what the hell is this sport?
Yeah.
So I decided to take a step back, and I'd always told myself I'm going to do some stone lifting. So I was like, I'm going to do that this year.
Nice.
So, did the stone lifting, had a grand old time. But the worst part was, I thought, this is great. My back's fine and my hips are fine. I'm going to go do Brits because I got called up for that. And it was just such a shit comp. I was warming up for the deadlifts, and I'd had like good deadlift sessions leading up to that. And as I'm pulling, I feel this like pop in my back, and you just lose that pressure in the suit because it just sort of sends you off. I go down. It's an axle bar, so you're locked in. So I smack my face. It's like spazzing out. And I'm like, shit. Like, what's gone on? And luckily it was just like, chiropractic pop.
Yeah.
That happens. It just happened at a very unfortunate time. And now I know that experience is possible. It's, it would have calmed me down. I would have gone back into it. But usually before a comp, Chloe will do like if this happens, then I will. And I didn't do that for that situation because I didn't want to visualize it ever happening,
Yeah, fair.
So everything after that was just downhill. I could not lock it. And, it was great having Chloe up there for it, but Gabs wasn't there. And, even like having my sister around, it's just like someone to, because I must have been such an arsehole to be around. I was just grumpy. Most people wouldn't know me like that. So it's just like general bad day, and I wish I'd had a better time of it because we had, Shiv, and I was staying with Eliza. But I just couldn't, So it's probably, I learned a lot about competing.
Yeah.
And how to take like a bad situation and turn it around. And you should probably prepare a bit better for these things. But that whole comp was just like, no. But there was, like I said, there's some lovely people in the under 82s, Nadine, Jade, Donna Moore, of course, and Shauna. It would have been grand if you were there. I probably would have picked myself right back up. But you weren't. And worst of all, we were in Bolton, so it wasn't easy to get back.
No, terrible. Yeah, I do agree with you. Those type of comps are really hard, but they're the ones that you learn the most from, and they're the ones that you'll remember and think, I'm not having a comp day like that again, because that is not enjoyable, and that is not why I'm doing this fucking sport.
Yeah, exactly. You learn a lot from it, and it is certainly an experience. Like, you can't go throughout your life without having like that experience. You learn a lot about yourself and how to handle yourself, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it'll probably happen again.
I mean, the chances of you getting injured at comp is pretty high all of the time, and you've always got to sort of have that in your head. Like, I know obviously the biggest one for me that I pulled out of was Natty Worlds in 2024, 24, 25, 24.
It was a year we had Europes, and then you did Worlds afterwards.
Yeah, it was 2024 that, yeah. And I went into that, and I didn't really injure myself doing it, but I just was injured just in general. My back was fucked. My bicep was like reattached, but not great. And like, it was just a lot of stress. And I remember thinking during that comp, that's I think probably one of the only, I don't know if I've ever pulled out of a comp mid-comp before, apart from at that comp. And that was, I really struggled with that. I didn't like that. I didn't enjoy that, but I knew I had to pull out because otherwise I would have that exact same thing of where I'll push myself through this comp and I'll have a horrible time and I'll be an arsehole to everybody around me. And I just don't want to do that. I've not paid all this money and come all of this way to do that. So I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like recognizing that, like, in that situation, like, absolutely, you need to respect yourself as well. Like, but in my situation, I'm glad I made it to the end and didn't just like storm off and quit.
Yeah.
But I could have had a much better performance if I was a bit more, calm about myself. But then, I had several things coming up as well. The travel up was not the easiest. I don't travel well. So
like
that
a cat.
sets me off.
She doesn't travel well.
I don't travel well. My train was delayed. I had to go to Crewe.
Oh, no.
And like I said, Gabs wasn't there, so I was just like, it's very much like keeps your head on when it needs a wobble. That's what she is for me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well, you learn from these comps, and the thing is as well, pushing through those comps sometimes and just getting it done so that you've done it, ticked it off, is like sort of the name of the game sometimes, isn't it? But was there no physio there or anyone that you could have gone and spoke to? Because usually Unbreakables are pretty good to have a physio on board.
Yeah, there was a physio, and like I said, she was like, it's fine, but in the case of my head being like not completely screwed on ever, it was just like you can't get that back on just with that one sentence, because all the thoughts had come out by that one point.
Yeah, fair 100%. It's it was like a cacophony of like not ideal situations there for you, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah. And then I gave myself a slap on the wrist and only had like a half pint afterwards because I wasn't deserving of a full pint.
I love your pint rationing. It's so funny. You're so funny about pints. What's your favourite type of pint?
What, like in terms of beer? I like a lager. I love Tennent's. Tennent's is grand, but
how old are you?
I love an ale as well, like an amber ale. So Leicester Tiger, it's got to be, Old Original as well. They're great ales.
You're just an old man in a young woman's body, aren't you?
Yes, I enjoy whiskey and I have a pipe.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You used to do fencing. Fucking hell. You are just an old man in a woman's body.
That's why the girls love me.
Cracking sense of humour as well. I'll give you that. Right. Final serious question, although I don't feel like any of this podcast has been that serious, but it's about to get even sillier. What would you say to yourself when you first started the sport then? Give us some sage advice.
That's an interesting one. It's just like keep having fun, because the comps that I have fun in, I do the best in. Continue to not look at the spreadsheets is probably the best way to go. Try and get Gabs to understand the spreadsheets a bit earlier would be helpful as well. Doesn't understand the rules yet. But yeah, keep having fun, and I guess try to speak to a few more people about like when I'm at comps, because I am a social person. But it gets quite hard, so I just keep trying to push my energy level up throughout those days.
Hell yeah. I love that. I do agree. The whole reason I think a lot of us get into strongman is because it is so much fun, and it's so easy to lose that fun when you get into that competitive side of it. That like you've got to remind yourself, like I do it, and I say it on the pod all the time, I regularly have to remind myself, if I'm not having fun, I will force myself to leave because I'm just not there if I'm not having fun. There's no point to it. I don't like myself at comps when I'm not having a good time. So yeah, I do totally agree with you on that front. I think it's one of the most important parts of the sport. And yeah, I do agree with your second point as well. I think that was very sage advice from a young, old man woman.
Old spirit.
When's Gabby going to do her Strongwoman debut anyway?
She says absolutely not.
Boo, boo, hiss, boo, hiss.
She's got a good grip though. I'd like to see her grip comp, but no, she loves her nails. It's not her thing.
So do I. I've got fancy nails. I've got fancy girl nails now.
Longer.
Oh, yeah, no, I probably couldn't go longer than this. It would be too much hard work. No, I think we need to try and get her involved because she'll work out the spreadsheets pretty fast then. And it'll be much better for you too. Better support.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
I love that. And as well, I think if people are listening to this podcast and they want an extra side quest to come and do it at UK's is to go and speak to Panda because you are probably one of my favourite people I've met at comps. Like, you're fucking hilarious. You're such a good crack at a comp. So, yeah, if you're feeling a bit down on yourself, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it as people's challenges to come and find you and be like, hey, Panda, I heard you on the podcast. You're so cool. I love you so much. You're such an old man.
Find me overstimulated crying in the toilet eating my Rice Krispie squares is the next event on.
So everybody stop talking to me. Why is everyone calling me an old man?
If it's after 2 p.m, you can also buy me a pint. If the comp hasn't finished by 2 p.m, you can still buy me a pint.
Hell yeah, I am well up for that. No, I know. Unfortunately, I refused to stay in Wolverhampton for more than one evening, so I'm actually going to drive home after the comp, but I might stay for one pint, one cheeky one.
A swift half, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll be hopefully deserved of at least one before we go.
Yeah. We could go. Oh fucking hell, we could have gone back straight after, but yeah, I think it was just like the idea of getting absolutely sloshed. So we're staying in a spa.
Oh, very nice, very fancy.
I've got to elevate this.
You got to make it good. Got to make it a good trip somehow. No, I do agree. Yeah. I was thinking about it, but I refused to pay the money. So unfortunately, me and Jackie are staying in a travel lodge that cost us 25 quid each. So I'm not hopeful for my Friday night sleep, but well, you live and you learn, don't you?
Yeah.
I know I can work on sleep deprivation. Probably be all right. So I'm just wait and see how it goes. But yeah, I refused to pay another 25 quid for another night because £50 felt like an extortionate price to stay in Wolverhampton for any period of time. So unfortunately, I won't be waiting till the after party, but it is what it is, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Anything other strongman related or UKNS related you would like to say on the podcast before we move on to our final section?
Nope.
Perfect. Done. Right. So we're moving on to our Silly Goose section.
Silly Goose. It's Silly Goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly Goose. It's Silly Goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's Silly Goose time.
So, do you have a Silly Goose you would like to bring to the table?
Can I hit you with a quickfire? Since we're on time. We do a quickfire.
Oh, go on then.
I've got 5 for you. I ran
5? Fucking hell.
No, it's quickfire. Don't linger on it. Don't even think about it.
Okay. Well, if I do the quickfire answers then, but then you're going to answer each of the questions afterwards and have a little chat about them.
Yeah, we could. If there's any one that sparks your interest, then yeah. I ran these past my friend Mike Rule, and he loved them. So he said, I've got to do all 5.
Okay.
Would you rather spend 50 minutes in crew train station or die?
Die.
£1 for every pee or £5 for every poop?
£5 for every poop.
Have all your eggs in one basket or lose all your marbles?
Marbles already gone. Lose them all. I like eggs.
Live a happy and fulfilling life or destroy all AI data centers?
Oh. That's too deep, that one. It's too deep. Happy and fulfilling life. I'm not too worried about AI.
Have £100, get £100, or a gay person lose their Wi-Fi?
Oh, I have £100. I don't hate gay people that much. That was a joke. Before everyone cancels me, that was a fucking joke. I'm not homophobe. Don't cancel me. That was a joke. Oh my God, it's going to be like fucking Joe Rogan all over again, this, isn't it? It's the end of
That's
my
why I
fucking
set it up.
podcasting career.
I set it up at the end just for you, just to cancel this
Yeah.
podcast.
Trying to catch me out, weren't you? Trying to get this podcast cancelled. Not on my watch. Not on my watch, Panda. Those were very good quickfire questions. The AI and
Thank you.
fulfilling life one really got me, but I don't know whether I'm that concerned. I feel like you're going to have a better understanding of AI though, because you're like cybersecurity, like whiz nerd, aren't you? Whereas I just use it for uni work and don't worry about the consequences.
Yeah, I work with AI at the moment. I build solutions. It's basically like it. Yeah,
Solutions to stop
understanding of-
AI or help it?
I don't know, like it's basically like an MLM for your dad's sugar daddy, basically, like big companies that want solutions to problems, you know. So when you see things like you know, Mitsubishi had like a car selector that has like an AI background to it. And then things like custom document summary, or like how call centers might use it on their interfaces, but you don't see it. That sort of
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very small things, but make a big difference. Personally, I would just destroy all AI data centers. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you hate AI? I'll just give you
No.
a pre-warning as well. The last time we had this conversation on the podcast, it was with Meg, and she got her internet cut off because obviously the AI overlords heard us and tried to destroy her. So just a heads up warning, AI is listening.
Yeah, so I already live a happy and fulfilling life, so that's not.
Dickhead.
I don't see the like, it is helpful in some cases, and I also do use it to help with like my uni tasks as well. But I feel like it's overly accessible, and the amount of like water it consumes for like how much we've given out for people to use, and people using it for stupid things, it's just like caused a massive detriment to society. But the business cases can be quite useful, but I think like the general use cases can be quite poor.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for the amount of water it uses does concern me, and I like genuinely like, why the fuck can it not get cooled with like seawater or something? I don't get it. There's obviously some reason behind it, but it just I am worried.
Yeah, it's poor planning, because there are data centers out there that can be cooled by local water, and but it's just like, how can we get this out as fast as possible? And like the current state of the world, and the fact that people are just like buying parts to train models like GPUs, RAM. The price of PCs is just absolutely obnoxious at the moment, for no reason. And I think it's a little bit annoying at this point. Like the AI stop videos, when people put themselves into like AI things, you know, feeding all their data into it to just be like, this is my job and this is like all it knows about me. Or like the AI summaries on Google, like I don't need that.
No, yeah, I do agree with you. I find it really useful for like university stuff. So when I'm like looking for a specific source or something like that, it makes searching for things a lot easier. But I do realize that mine, like the ones that I use, base answers towards me more, and the more I speak to them, the worse they get at like just telling me what I want to hear all of the time, and you have to fact check it all the time, and it is concerning. Like, it concerns me how much it knows about me. And do you remember when they were doing that data identity thing in the UK, and they were like, everyone's going to have this online government ID thing and you're going to have to fill it in and stuff, and everyone was like, fuck no, I'm not giving you my data, fuck off. And now, like, but we're all willingly typing everything we know and everything we feel into an AI, but that is keeping all of our data somewhere. Like, doesn't add up. Like, you're gonna give it to one of them, but you're not gonna give it to the other. Nah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it is bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the rules of like where this went from being like, oh, this is really fun, like the business cases can be good, to like the companies that are then like, oh, we're just gonna go and like do whatever the hell we want. Where there was like this AI was told it was being shut down, and it went and like turned the oxygen off in the data center where the engineer was turning it off. I was like,
God.
okay, I think we fucked around and found out, like, can we just stick to like business rules only, please? Like,
Yeah, it feels it needs more like moderation, doesn't it? But I think this is the problem with the AI stuff, is that like, how can you moderate it? How, at some point it's fucking almost a sentient being, isn't it? Like,
yeah, so you can use things like LLM as a judge, so you can use AI to moderate AI, in some sense, but you have very limited control over it. And I think it's more just like the people that are running the big models are just like throwing it out and seeing whatever happens, whatever sticks. And it's like, can we just like slow down a bit? Like,
yeah, it does. That sort of stuff does concern me. My only, and this might sound like the stupidest Neanderthal thing ever to say about this, but my only like saving grace on AI is that if the electricity goes off and everything goes down, fucked, innit?
yeah, absolutely.
How's it surviving? Like, once electricity is gone, once the apocalypse that inevitably is going to happen at some point to us happens, and we don't have electricity anymore apart from our own like generated electricity through whatever means we have, fucked, innit? Can't work without electricity, can you, mate? Like, you're online. So
Yeah,
once the grid is down, fucked.
Yeah, it's a big over reliance on things, and especially like resources at the moment. I think is just a bit like, yeah, just chill, and it's just been like shoved everywhere. Like, I bit the bullet and I bought some a new PC and some parts. Which fucking cost way too much, but I get Windows 11 and it's like all these AI components I have to go through and like turn all of them off. I'm like, why is there so much shit here?
Yeah.
You know, it's in everything now, and I'm just like, can we just, I don't need it. Like, I like my shit photos with like people missing, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't want to include them.
No, yeah, I'm not on board with all of that sort of stuff. I've been using mine, so luckily my laptop is actually so small and so shit that when I use Copilot on it, it just crashes. So I can only ask Copilot 2 or 3 questions and then it will crash and I have to shut it down and I have to start it again. So luckily it's got no data on me because it never actually can keep anything on me. But yeah, I've been using it because I'm learning how to code. I'm going to be a coder just like you. I'm growing up. That's what I've decided I want to be. No, I've got to do it for a uni assignment. So I'm using RStudio. Do you know RStudio?
Yeah, I do. Doing a bit of data science, are you?
Yeah, doing a bit of data science. Yeah. Learning how to do the zeros and the O's and the X's and the hashtags and stuff. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I literally ask AI to write me code and then I just copy and paste it in. But it works. It's really good at that job. It's like, that's one job that I think, yeah, AI would be really useful for that job, making some code. You like fills in all the gaps and all the bits that I don't care about and I don't want to learn. Really good at that.
Yeah, small cases. Let's not do like introduce big bugs. But Claude is better for code than Copilot, I found.
Oh, do I have to pay for Claude?
I don't know. You get a free version, I think, but I found Claude is a lot more useful. Or I'm not going to plug it. I'm not going to do that.
So I only use Copilot because I tried my like go-to AI that I use for like my uni references and stuff like that feels the most reliable is Perplexity, and that seems to always send me at least real references. It doesn't make them up like ChatGPT did. So I usually go for Perplexity, but Perplexity garbage at code, like really shit at it. I've tried it loads, and I have the paid version as well. I did actually bite the bullet and pay for it, only for university though. The minute I'm finished, I'm quitting that because I don't need it for anything else. But yeah, it's shit at code, so I had to use Copilot, which I'm using the free version of that, and that's all right. But
yeah, well, there's I am gonna say it. So you can get there's a new one that's specifically for code. It's called IBM Bob, and you get a free trial, or it's like 20 quid. That one's specifically for code. It's a lot cheaper than certain models, but yeah, that one's just come out, and that's what we use.
Interesting. I'm probably not up to your standard of coding, to be honest, yet, mate. So it might be slightly ahead of me, but you never know.
You don't need to understand. It explains it all to you as well.
To be fair,
Yes.
that's handy because at the moment,
Yeah.
Copilot. To be fair, Copilot does try and explain it to me, but I just don't read it. I just copy and paste it, and then when it goes wrong, I just send it the error codes, and I'm like, "What the fuck have you done here, dickhead? Do it right."
Yeah, so you're the first one to go. That's great.
Mate, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to unplug it straight from the wall. I'll be like, what the fuck are you going to do? See ya. Bye.
Oh.
Fuck no. I'll be living in my little small world in me. With
Yeah.
I'll work out some tinfoil hat electromagnetic resonance field so nothing can get through it. No AIs are going to come and get me.
This average house in Hartlepool.
Mate, I don't live in an average house in Hartlepool, I'll have you know.
Yeah,
I'm balling.
with the tin foil.
You cheeky bastard. I like it though. Good try. Good try. I'll go back to my happy, fulfilling life now, shall I?
Yeah.
Anyway, hang on. We're nearly at full time of when I said that we were going to do the podcast. I have a silly goose question for you.
Oh no.
So, when the apocalypse does happen, if you only had one type of veg that you could have to defend yourself with, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I know a lot of veg.
Yeah.
You want to go for something quite hard, don't you? I feel like a good root vegetable is a good hard one. You know,
Yeah.
you could probably take someone out because you're not going to get a sharp vegetable, really.
No, I can't think of
I've
any.
never heard of anyone cutting themselves on a vegetable. I'd say something like a celeriac because they tend to get quite big, right?
Yeah.
You could just lob one of them like a good football.
Or a gourd.
Yeah, and if it's got the roots on it, then you can swing it around like a mace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very fair point. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. Maybe so I had this question. This is a bit cheeky, but I had this question saved for Hannah Fitzgerald, and then she gave me a really, really good silly goose. So I didn't ask her, but I remember asking it afterwards on the podcast because she was like, "What was my silly goose question?" I was like, "This was it." But I'm going to save it for somebody else to ask them as well to find out what they think. And I think she said pumpkin to me, and said that that's what she was going to do.
Pumpkin.
And yeah, I think pumpkin would be really good. And as well, because depending on how much of the pumpkin you could get, if you could get the vine that it comes on, those vines are really prickly. So you could almost use that like a big prickly whip as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I defending myself from in this apocalypse? Also,
Anything. Probably not AI, because I imagine, well, we'll unplug them, won't we? Zombies, werewolves, anything that could just come out of the blue in this day and age.
I feel like if there's going to be an apocalypse in the UK, it's going to be like people from Cornwall trying to take back the land.
People from Cornwall. No,
Yeah.
I think if there's going to be an apocalypse, it'll be reform voters that'll probably be the ones. But
yeah, but you could use any veg on them, they wouldn't know.
to be fair, the veggies themselves will probably just scare them. No, right, we're gonna have to.
Ethnic vegetables.
I'm gonna have to stop because I'm definitely gonna get cancelled now. We've done homophobia and we've done politics here. There's gonna be hell on, isn't there? Absolute hell on. I'm sorry for a reform voter. I didn't mean it. Nah, too woke on this podcast. Anyway, right. Final thoughts for the podcast. Any final thoughts to send people away with that we won't get cancelled for?
Eat your beans, eat your greens, and have a good routine. That's life. That's my thoughts on life.
That's fucking class. I love that.
Yeah, and don't go to Chernobyl for chemotherapy.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. Well,
yeah.
If we're getting cancelled, we are now. So thank you very much for being on the podcast, Panda. I'm sure I've got some editing to go and do now. So, yeah.
I'm going to see what you're brave enough to keep in.
Don't test me. I'll keep it all in. Fuck you. Nah, we'll see. You'll find out on Friday when this podcast airs, just before UK's. You can have a little listen to it, or you can save it for after UK's and just panic yourself throughout the weekend worrying about it. Actually, don't listen to it at all, and we'll just see what people come up to us and say at UK's and see which bit hit home. We know if we get reform voters throwing veg at us, then we've gone wrong. And I haven't edited anything out.
Oh,
amazing! Right,
that would make for a class comp. People throwing veg.
It would make it much more exciting. Yeah, I do agree. Let's bring back throwing veg for UK's. I'll bring some tomatoes. We'll just start throwing them at people who don't do very well.
Yeah. I think that'll do. That'll be fun. But just do the under 82s. If you're scared, just do the under 82s. We can take it.
Yeah, people shouldn't be scared. Throw veg. I think bring it back. Bring it back as a form of punishment. I'm
not
on board.
rotten veg.
Nah. Well, to be fair though, with the cost of like ripe veg, you'd be fucked, wouldn't you? You'll have to be taking out mortgages more than we are just to get to Wolverhampton itself. Right, okay, we need to stop this podcast. Right, this has been very good fun. Where can people find you if they want to follow along and follow you on your wild little journey in Strongwoman?
So I have a very small Instagram that I don't tend to post on because I'm terrible and I'm very worried about my digital footprint.
Of course you are.
Known as Homo Patrol. Gabby has asked me to change it several times. I will not. I'm not homophobic. I am gay. I guess you can send me hate mail on LinkedIn. That would be fun. But if you're disappointed with things, but that's the only place I have at the moment. I guess keep your eyes peeled or like egg me if you want more of this.
I feel like I'm just going to egg you anyway for only having an Instagram and a LinkedIn. Who the fuck's still on LinkedIn, mate?
I'm not on it. I have LinkedIn Premium for work. It's so much fun.
No, I will not hear of this. This is disgusting.
I don't post on it, but I'd like to stalk people. It's great because LinkedIn Premium is when you don't show, so you can stalk everyone.
Oh my God. No. Everything about LinkedIn should just be like, if we're unplugging AIs, let's unplug LinkedIn while we're there, because that is just a pile of garbage.
100% agree. But yeah, Instagram would be preferable. I don't have any other form of social media.
A digital ghost. Well, I'll tag your Instagram in the show notes below. I'm not putting your LinkedIn there because I don't want to send people towards that. So yeah, thank you very much for being on the podcast, Panda. This has been a pleasure and a joy.
Yeah, it really has. This will be my first and possibly last podcast appearance because I swore I would never do something like this because who the hell wants to hear my opinions? And now I've put them out there and now who the hell wants to hear my opinions? So thanks for ending this.
No, I love it. I love that we're the first and potentially also last podcast you'll ever be on. It's a real privilege. Thank you.
Lovely.
Right. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed listening. Don't send us too much hate mail. This has all been a joke. Okay, we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Strongwoman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/Strongwoman Highs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as. But we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strongwoman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strongwoman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strongwoman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!